need to dust up the old resume, or what's going on here?
Yeah.
Hopefully they save their money well. So let's talk about what the Broncos did. We know that they hit a home run. You and I both love the additions. After the Evan Ingram addition, I turned my grade into a A from a B. You liked it as an A already, and they have hit a home run. Absolutely hit a home run. But did they ignore one position specifically? There are a couple I want to talk about. But what about the running back? Did they ignore the running back? Is there still one out there that they could grab in J.K. Dobbins? And what does the price tag look like now that we're on the third wave? Are you surprised that running back wasn't on the table?
Somewhat, but as Mike Kliss has told us, that running back is the plan in the draft. So that's the plan in the draft. Here's the thing. You need a back like how Dallas has added 2 backs. So they're sitting there at 12 in front of the Denver Broncos, and I doubt that Ashton Jeanty is there. The Raiders are likely to take him at 6. But if you're Dallas sitting there at 12, people think, oh, you're not going to take Omarion Hampton because you have Javonte Williams and Miles Sanders. It's not great, Bob, but you can pass protect. Like, all right, Dak's going to throw it 700 times. But that kind of throws out, kind of a smoke screen, if you will, because you've got 2 veteran backs. You probably could wait. This draft class is deep at running back. The Broncos need someone like J.K. Dobbins. One, he could start and star, and in a Sean Payton system, he's going to be carrying half of the load that he would for the Chargers, as he's done, and then with the Ravens when he was healthy. So get away from the Harbaugh connection because they're going to run you into the ground. Get with Sean Payton, and they can get you an extended period because he's going to use you half the time. But Dobbins is enough of a smoke screen that you would think at 20, well, the Broncos could go in any different direction. If Kenneth Grant, the defensive tackle from Michigan, falls to them, I don't think he does, but if he did at 20, that would be a possibility for you, even though you've kept DJ Jones. That's a possibility. You look at, Luther Burden, wide receiver, Mizzou.
Yeah.
People say, well, they didn't get Debo and they didn't get Cooper Kupp. Well, maybe Burden's an option at 20. I wouldn't recommend it, not for him and his skill set, but just based on the Broncos' needs. You look at Nick Emmanwori, South Carolina, safety. You go, okay, is safety a possibility at 20? If they got a running back like J.K. Dobbins or Nick Chubb, maybe Nick Chubb, in free agency, you wouldn't know at all what they were going to do. You wouldn't have any clue. Now, people would guess out there, but I know one thing about Sean Payton. He keeps things tight over there. Or he throws you a curveball like, I really like J.J. McCarthy, and then we all eat it up like, I guess J.J. is their guy. So Sean Payton keeps keeps things pretty close to the vest over there. And because of that, I think they need a running back. One, a J.K. Dobbins can still play, could still start, could still be a main back for you, but also it keeps people away from moving up to get Omarion Hampton when you really want him at 20. That's if Sean fell in love with him, and we won't really know that. I'm going to be at the owners' meetings in 2 weeks. We won't really know. I'm going to have breakfast with Sean 2 weeks, I believe, from today. Going to have breakfast with him, going to come do the show. And in that time, am I going to be able to tell you, do they love Omarion Hampton? The answer is probably no. And if Sean throws it out there, I'm not going to believe him.
No.
You know what I mean?
Well, if he throws something out there, then you'll go, yeah, there's some intent behind this.
Yeah. And if he even tosses something like, hey, those Ohio State backs, those are really good. There's a really good draft class here. And, of course, you love Ashton Jeanty, and of course you love Omarion Hampton. Those Ohio State guys. So he may bring it up in passing. I still might not believe him because you don't know. But then he may be telling you the truth, but then you think he's not, so then you don't know, and then it's all confusing with Sean Payton.
Yeah.
But I'm going to have pancakes with him. So I'm happy about that.
You'll have what does he have? What did he have last time?
Eggs, bacon, and waffles, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. If you knew how happy pancakes made me, you'd think I was a freak.
No,
like you got your foot fetish, I may have a pancake
Take
fetish.
it easy on the foot fetish. I'm no Rex Ryan, but
Okay, all right.
Maybe not to that level. You could tell a lot about a man about what they eat for breakfast. Isn't that what Forrest Gump said?
Yeah.
Something along those lines?
Yeah, I guess. Is he smart or is he like me?
Yeah, I'm a little surprised. And now, I mean, honestly, a J.K. Dobbins addition would be huge for the Denver Broncos. Why is he holding out? Is there a chance that J.K.'s having conversations with the team? I would imagine that he and the Chargers have had talks. I'd imagine there's probably a offer on the table from the Chargers at some point. Maybe it's not there now, but It's weird to me that he and the Chargers are not on the same page. A dude that missed games and still ran for 905 yards on a team that the head coach wants to run the football.
Yeah, down your throat. There's another one here as well that you could potentially pick up. Jamal Williams from the Saints. Now, not former Saint, he's a Lion, basically, BYU running back. What did he score? Kev, look it up. Jamal Williams, and that's 2 A's on the Jamal. Well, 3 A's technically. Because it was, 2 years ago? I believe he scored like 20 touchdowns.
Well, he's only 29. He'll be 30 when the season starts, but he'll have just turned 30.
And Jamal's always been in a backfield timeshare. So he's already used to being that guy who, you don't have to be the guy, but you're always in some sort of timeshare. And that's the thing with him is that's enough of a potential starter type level to throw teams off your scent. I think that's what the Broncos really need. Whether it's J.K. Dobbins, whether it's Nick Chubb, kind of the theme of this offseason as well. If you're healthy, we're going to get you signed, and hopefully you can stay healthy. Nick Chubb would fit that. But I say Jamal Williams, if you don't get J.K. Dobbins, I love Nick Chubb, but he's coming off that major knee injury. He hasn't looked the same. He might be washed. So, you do have some options here in wave 3-ish.
17 touchdowns in that.
17 touchdowns.
What was his final year with Detroit?
Yeah.
17 touchdowns, 1,066 yards, and then since then, the year after, he only played in 13 games, only scored 1 touchdown and 306 yards, splitting time in New Orleans, and he obviously split in time with the guy they want to have the football, in Alvin Kamara.
Yeah.
Same deal in last season, where he only played in 14 games and scored just 1 touchdown for 164 yards. So maybe with an elevated role. And by the way, talk about price. This would be a guy at this point where you pay him a veteran minimum and you say nothing's guaranteed, but you're going to be given an opportunity to earn a spot on this roster.
Yeah, and what's funny about Jamal, I remember when he came out of BYU, I got his uncle was part of his training regimen. Like the funniest guy of all time. Yeah, I would sit at the Senior Bowl practices, and I just sat there and told jokes with his uncle while watching practice. Usually I don't like to do that, but his uncle's so cool. I was like, and training him as well. You love to see that. So Jamal, family guy, focused, definitely studies hard, works hard, has a Dan Campbell seal of approval, has a Mickey Loomis seal of approval. Welcome to Denver, Jamal Williams.
I was going to say, Sean knows those guys.
Exactly. So, all it takes is a phone call. Dan, what'd you think of him? Hey, Mickey, what'd you think of him? All right. And Jamal Williams is not going to cost you a lot of money at all whatsoever. We're talking, a couple million. I mean, $3 million, maybe.
Same thing with JK is going to be more expensive.
Yeah.
Are you talking about like $6-7 million for JK Dobbins? I don't think it's that expensive, is it?
No, it wouldn't be, because there's a Melvin Gordon line. You never cross the Melvin Gordon line. Don't even get close to it.
Don't do it.
Don't think about it. Don't remember it. Don't like it. And that was $8 million.
Okay.
Think about that.
Yeah, they were about $6 million over the cap on Melvin Gordon.
And to take the ball out of Philip Lindsay's hands?
Right.
To give it to Melly Mel?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
For him to then give it to the other team? So they take it out of Philip's hands, give it to Melvin, and then Melvin gives it to the Raiders.
Okay, yeah, there you go.
Nice decision making.
That's what you paid $8 million
Nathaniel
for.
Hackett. All right, we'll get back to a Broncos conversation, but Broncos fans, let us know. J.K. Dobbins, any of these names, Jamal Williams, interest you, pique your interest at all, or do you want to address running back in the draft, and who do you like? 303-713-1043 is the RamosLaw.com text line. It's also the number you need to know if your name is Jay Edwards. You want to see the most popular horse race in the country? It's the Fan Flyaway, presented by Embers Golf and 303-LAW-4040. And that's right, Jay Edwards, you're now on the clock. You have 10 minutes to call us back at that number, 303-713-1043. And if you do it, you're entered into the drawing for our grand prize. That is 2 tickets to the race. Round trip airfare from Denver to Kentucky for you and your guests, 2 nights hotel stay, and $500 preloaded on a Visa gift card. Jay Edwards. It could all be yours, but you have to call us back in the next 10 minutes at 303-713-1043. If you have not already entered, you can sign up at thefanflyaway.com and then make sure you're listening weekdays every hour between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. to hear if your name is called. And if you know Jay Edwards, well, there's a +1 on this thing. If you alert him, he's basically obligated to bring you. Let Jay Edwards know he is on the clock. In the meantime, while we wait for Jay's call, we'll check our ex. Cincinnati making some big moves. What does that mean for the shuffle in the AFC? Let's have that conversation next.